Hi everyone, my name is Kaylin Kelly, and for my presentation, I based my topic off of our number 5 discussion, so I'll be talking about the underrepresentation in Hollywood. The article that I chose was Film and Diversity, What Changed in 2019 and What's Next in 2020. The article was written by Dino Ray Ramos and it was published January 1st of 2020. A couple things that I really enjoyed about this article was it had really great in-depth statistics about gender and ethnic groups in Hollywood, but it also looked a little past that with sexual orientation in Hollywood as well. And then it also looked at not only acting roles, leading or co-leading roles, but it also looked at any named role, directors, crew, and any award winners. A couple statistics were out of the 1,200 top films from 2007 to 2018, people from ethnic groups only accounted for 27 of the leading or co-leading roles. And between 2017 and 2019, that number did rise by 7%, which isn't much in the grand scheme of things, but that definitely is a lot of progress for only 2 years. And then for women only had 40 leading or co-leading roles in 2018, but compared to 2017, where they had 32, that is an 8-film increase, which, not much progress, but still good. But out of those 40 leading or co-leading roles, only 11 of which were held by women of color. So that's definitely a very small fraction, and I hope to see more change with that. But anyway, like I said, I did base my topic off of discussion number 5 with Anna Wong. I know we all read the article and did the discussion, so just a few fast facts. She was the first Chinese American film star. She was racially bullied as a child. She had a slow start in the film industry due to her being Chinese and the obstacles that she faced with that, like not being able to kiss an actor and have that romantic relationship with someone outside of her race, and not being cast for the roles that she should have been cast in, and them casting the wrong race for those roles. But she was criticized by both the American film industry and the Chinese community that she was a part of because she was too much of the other community for them. And then in my discussion, I did compare Anna Wong to Crazy Rich Asians, and I did talk about how I thought that one of the best improvements for the Asian community in film was this movie for being the all-Asian cast with Asian leading roles, but again, this was the first movie in over 25 years to do so. I also noted about the movie from Netflix, To All the Boys I Loved Before. Both of those movies had a strong female cast, and they did have to go through a lot of obstacles for that. For To All the Boys That I Loved Before, it was based off of a book where the lead role was an Asian woman, but the casting directors tried to cast a white woman for the role instead. However, I'm really glad that they didn't, but that does show some progress where it shows nowadays we do have Asian women having a romantic relationship with men that are outside of their race in film. Another movie that I like to compare it to would be Last Christmas. In this case, it's a male Asian co-lead that has a romantic relationship with a white woman, so definitely kind of the counter opposite of Anna Wong's time, but still it does show the progress that we have made. And then I threw in a picture of Black Panther. Black Panther was heavily acclaimed for its black actors and actresses, its film directors, and its composers for the score of the movie. And for the article that I chose, it has a quote saying that we saw a strong increase in black directors who helmed movies in the top 100 grossing films of 2018. And then it goes on to say that after that, USC and Smith partnered with the Sundance Institute to examine the progress made when it came to directorial inclusion and representation for women and people of color. And despite an increase of females represented in the Sundance Film Festival, it is still far below 50%. So we are nowhere near equal. And again, I really do hope to see those numbers rising. But I have a lot of hope because in the past couple of years we've had amazing progress. And then I know I just talked about directors a little bit. I'm also going to talk about writers. It goes on to say that diverse writers also have a really hard time getting their foot in the door because they are also often pushed to lower levels where they have little to no power to contribute or have very limited say in casting in order to improve on-screen representation. So that is an obstacle that needs to be surpassed. Also, when looking at award shows like the Oscars and the Emmys specifically, the number of diverse winners and nominees dropped significantly. This past year, there were only 24 acting nominations and 2 reality host nominations of people of color, which brings the total to 26 nominees, and last year the number was 38, so there was a lot of controversy about that, and it started a few different hashtags and trends. And then in the bottom right corner, I included a graph that shows the Latino representation. And in another article that I have cited, it has a really great statistic where it's the Latino Independence Producers and Wise Entertainment for a comprehensive study that examined the prevalence of Latino characters on screen across 1,200 top grossing films from 2007 to 2018. Only 4.5% of all 47,268 speaking or named characters across the past 12 years were Latino, and only 3% were leading or co-leading actors. And that has no way of accurately representing the current populations in the world, because 77% of the U.S. states and territories have a population greater than what the Latinos are being represented in Hollywood films. And then I did mention at the beginning that the article does include some statistics about the LGBTQ plus community, and they set a record of bypassing 10% on broadcast television, and they did so by getting 10.2%. When compared to last year, it was only 8.8%. And then it does a breakdown of what exactly it was. So it goes on to say, on the film side, one of the studios found that of all 110 releases from major studios in 2018, 20, accounting for 18.2%, included characters that were lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and or queer. It is a significant increase from the previous year's data, which saw an all-time low at 12.8%, which accumulates for 14 out of 109 films. So that is about 6-point jump, which again, not much, but still great improvements for only being a year or a year long.